figured, you know what, any snake that has a name can't be all that bad.
Right.
So I touched him, and he's actually warm and soft, and he felt really nice. And I touched him again and again and again, and so by the time that segment was over, in the back of the room, Jason had the snake, and it wasn't long before I was up, and I touched him closer to his head, and it was pretty cool. Then at the end of the workshop, Scott loves to tell this story how
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott. I'll let you tell it.
Can I tell this part? Yeah, I love it. I love telling this part
it.
because I got to tell the emotion is like we had this long, exhausting workshop. We had a fire walk scheduled, and the county fire department came out, and for the first time ever in almost 50 fire walks, never had a problem. The fire department came out, and they put the fire out, and it just kind of really rained on our parade, and everybody was kind of down. It was very difficult. And, you know, the first wood that we had, it wouldn't catch on fire, so they scrambled around, a bunch of the staff members. They went out and they found more wood. They bought it from a local Home Depot in a big pallet, made new fires, had the thing ready, and then the fire department comes out and puts the fire out. So it was a very difficult day emotionally. But at the end of the day, we're having a staff meeting. We're all in a big circle, and I look around, and I'm like, where's Valerie? And I had a little anger in me. I was like, God, Valerie, come on, let's get this meeting over with so we can review what's going, you know, what happened and what's going to happen next. And somebody looked over at me and they said, she's upstairs. I'm like, what do you mean she's upstairs? We all agreed that we're having a meeting right now, and I know everybody's tired and wants to get home. And they said, Scott, she's up there with the snake. And I almost fell out of my chair because here's a woman who literally said, if you bring a snake into the room, I will leave. I won't even be there. She goes from that type of phobia, that's not just fear, that's phobia, to touching the snake, to eventually holding the snake, to eventually skipping her meeting to go up there and spend more time with the snake. But that's kind of how this stuff works. It's whatever you're most afraid of in life, usually there's going to be a huge gift there for you. If you break through that fear, whether it's skydiving or firewalking or holding snakes, a lot of people tell me, oh, I don't want to do all that stuff. And I'm like, it's just a metaphor. The snake, the firewalk, the jumping out of the plane, that's a metaphor for you taking that leap of faith. You know, if it's jumping out of the plane, you need to take a leap of faith in your business. Or maybe the fear of touching the snake is the fear, it represents the fear of being close and being intimate, maybe in a relationship. The fear of walking on fire represents the fear of getting burned. Maybe you got burned in a relationship, or you got burned in a business deal, and you've developed a generalization that says you can't trust men, or you can't trust women, or you can't trust, you know, business partners. They'll burn you, and you need to break through that, let go of that old story, and develop a new story. So that's why these experiences are useful, and you can't get these out of a book. So that, you know, and we could go on and on and on, couldn't we? I mean, we could interview dozens and dozens and dozens of people who've used this formula, not academically, but bioenergetically in their bodies. And that's what I want to invite anybody who's on this call. We're constantly doing stuff with the Adventure Club. We're constantly doing workshops, and we're going to be doing these weekly calls where we go over the, you know, the didactic, the mental side of this stuff, the techniques. But that's just kind of like, that's the map, all right? If you want to find the treasure, you're going to have to get out there and walk around through the jungle, down the beach, wherever, and you're going to have to dig. And that's what we're here to help you do. So with that, is there any other story? Is there anything, Stephanie or Valerie or Charles, is there anything else you guys want to say about this work, about these steps that we take people through to help them break through their fear, live the life of their dreams, and develop more self-confidence? It's really simple stuff, isn't it? It's just sometimes we overcomplicate it. Anything else you guys want to say before we jump off this call?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, Charles.
Okay.
It's transformational. It opens up the whole world. You realize that you really can do whatever you want to do. And for me, I want to experience self-actualization, and I want to be a millionaire because I want to help people, and I want the power to do that.
Right on, brother. Well, I want to support you in getting all those things. You're a good man. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is Valerie again. What I learned is that if I can accomplish these little fears like touching a snake or skydiving, I went skydiving with a group back in, I think it was November, life-changing experience. Ziplining, just all the different things that we do. If I can do those things, then I can go out and I can, in my business, I can talk to the CEO of a company or, so we all have fear of talking to the big man of a big company. But man, now it's like, wow, I can skydive. Heck, what's talking to the CEO of a company? It's nothing. I can jump out of an airplane. So,
right.
Do it. Just go for it. Learn, dive into it and learn these techniques and go forward and make some real serious changes in your life.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you. You there, Stephanie? You got anything you want to wrap it up with? Anything you want to say?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me is, doing these bioenergetic pieces. And, we're talking a lot about those because that's something that I think is really unique about this philosophy and this group of people is that we really get out and do stuff. I mean, I am a total analytical human being, and I wrote a blog the other day about, get out of your head. And it's the thing that I'm realizing is that as I do more of these activities and as I model Scott, he was a ranger, and at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, he was out doing all these bioenergetic experiences. I mean, if you guys have the opportunity or the desire to come and hang out, you will see that Scott really is he's willing to face his fear. So as I continue to model him and as I continue to do these activities and I feel the confidence inside of me, it's like a foundational core confidence system. And the more that I do these things, the more confident I get. So I just really want to talk about that because that's what this call is about, is that it's working. And I look forward to, continuing to see, other people come through because I get just as much out of seeing Charles face his fear and Valerie face her fear. I mean, we were at an event one time, and Valerie ran across the room to find a 50-pound, 10-foot boa constrictor. We all chased after her, and it was just so...
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it was so amazing for me. I got so tickled and had such, I had a self-actualization moment when I saw Valerie just... And there's a picture of her on Facebook where she's beautiful and her skin is brighter and her eyes are brighter. And so I just look forward to seeing other people have the experience. And I appreciate, Valerie and Charles and Scott supporting me and breaking through the fear. All these guys were there when I jumped off the tower. So I just really appreciate you, Scott, for what you're doing. And I appreciate you, Valerie and Charles, for being a part of this. It means a lot to me, so thank you.
Yeah, I got to tell you, whoever's listening to this, if you've stayed with this call this long, I'm glad I reserved the extra 30 minutes. It's almost like what's coming up in me right now is I want to go to the front part of this and just cut out all the stuff I was talking about and just let this call be about what Charles said, what Valerie said, and what you said, because it really does come down to this, folks. If anybody out there has ever done anything, you can do it too if you just break through your fear and you take action. It's really that simple. Yes, be clear on your outcomes. Be crystal clear. Yes, change the stories in your head. Yes, stop living in fear and start living in uptime, in passion and courage and excitement, all these positive emotions. Change your actions. That's that fourth thing. Just get out and take action. Use your face. Use your body. Use your breath and your voice tone and all of the tools that will teach you on these weekly calls over and over and over and over and over again. Repetition is the mother of learning. But the main thing is if they can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I was a scared kid. I wouldn't even eat my lunch in the cafeteria. I ate it in the library. I was so scared. I went from that to being a U.S. Army Ranger. If I can do that, you can do anything you want to do. So your assignment for the week, go out and do something to break through your fear. Come back. We'll talk about it next week. We'll talk about those 4 techniques again, and we'll have a totally different subject we're going to focus in on. This week was about self-confidence and breaking through the fear. Next week, I'm going to introduce something really exciting. So be sure, if you haven't registered using the form that Stephanie set up, make sure and register. Just put your name and email in there, and that way we'll let you know whenever the new call is going to happen. when it's going to be, what time, what the dial-in number is, because it's probably going to, I think the dial-in number changes each week. Maybe it stays the same. I'm not sure. Maybe the passcode changes. Anyways, in any case, we want to make sure that you get the information so that even if you're not there, you can get the MP3 download and you can change your life using this powerful, powerful information. Thanks a lot for joining us on the call. Now I'm going to jump off here, leaving you with some really cool music. Have a great day. Break through your fear. Remember, the only thing that's standing between you and the life of your dreams is fear and those old BS stories that you tell yourself about why you can't do it. So get out, take action, break your fear, and we'll see you on the other side.